Yo, what is going on, guys? And today I've got a super fun list for you. I don't even actually have a name for the deck. I don't even know what to call it. But the strategy is completely revolved around Garbodor. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen the more popular Garbodor, the ability locking Garbodor. When you put a tool on it, it shuts off your abilities. That has seen play. It's been reprinted many times. It's seen play throughout its life cycle in the standard format, but that's not the Garbodor we're playing with today. Today we are playing with Trashalanche Garbodor. Now, Trashalanche does 20 damage for each item card in your opponent's discard pile. So, we have lots of ways to get items in our discard pile besides our opponent playing them. I don't actually think a lot of people sometimes really think about how many item cards they're actually playing, even in their opening turns. You're maybe playing Battle VIP passes, quick balls, maybe a scoop up net. You're trying to utilize those item cards, and by using them, you amp up Garbodor's damage. So while you have to set up, you kind of can't really play around this attack to a certain extent. You can, of course, limit your item cards, but we have ways to get around that. If you limit playing your item cards, we have Garbodor's best friend, Alolan Muck. Now, Alolan Muck, when you put this Pokemon from your hand onto your Grimer to evolve it, you get to look at the top 6 cards of your opponent's deck and mill any item cards that you find there. So this is another way to amp up Garbodor's damage. And it's not just damage. This deck, if you really think about it, if you're milling item cards, you're also disrupting your opponent. Milling maybe Quick Balls, Float Stones, really important cards to their deck. Ultra Balls, Versus Seekers is another incredible card you can mill. So Alolan Muck not just provides damage, but also disruption. Now, the new card out of Lost Origin that I'm excited to highlight in this deck is the Miss Fortune Sisters. At first glance, this card is hot garbage, but in Expanded, I think it's found a home here in this deck. So you get to look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck and mill any item cards you find there. So the synergy with these cards is incredibly powerful. Something else to note in Expanded, there are typically a lot more item cards than you might see in Expanded, or in Expanded as opposed to Standard. Jeepers, words are hard, am I right? But you have cards like Versus Seeker. People typically cut supporters for item cards. So because with Versus Seeker, once you get that supporter, Versus Seeker can be any supporter from your discard pile. So there are cards like Versus Seeker, Computer Search. There are extra item cards like Field Blower that people play in their expanded decks, which also really help Trashalanche Garbodor's damage. Now, going back to the Pokemon, we have Ditto Prism Star. Amazing card in this deck. Ditto Prism Star's ability says you can evolve this Pokemon into any Stage 1 Pokemon. So it is ridiculously flexible. It can evolve if we need it to into a second Alolan Muck. We scoop up our Alolan Muck, not having another Grimer down. This Ditto can be an Alolan Muck. And then we can also use it to evolve into our other Garbodor. If we need a backup attacker on the fly and we don't have a Trubbish down, Ditto does that for us. Now, I have a couple of 2-price Pokemon. You don't typically want to bench these, but, you know, sometimes your hands get dead. You've got to detonate. Discard your hand, draw fresh 6 cards. It really helps you get out of tight situations. Another card I'm playing in this deck that is really amazing is Jirachi Ex. Now, Jirachi Ex is, we've seen a card like this in almost every format. If you're playing the standard format right now, you know Lumineon V. Search your deck for any one supporter card and put it into your hand. So the Lumineon is a spiritual successor of this Jirachi. We also have Tapu Lele GX if you played through the Sun and Moon era. So this card is so good. The reason we are playing this one though over Tapu Lele is because we play Scoop Up Nets. Now, Scoop Up Net says put one Pokemon into your hand that isn't a V or GX. So because Tapu Lele is an EX Pokemon, you are actually allowed to scoop it up and reuse Jirachi's ability again, not just finding any supporter you might need. Most likely though, Miss Fortune Sisters. The Scoop Up Net is also imperative to the strategy with Alolan Muck because you can scoop it up and re-evolve another Grimer and mill more and more item cards throughout the turns. So moving into the trainer cards, I know we've seen some of them already. We've got the one Computer Search, you know, just added consistency. Discard 2 cards, get any card you want from your deck. It's just too good not to play most of the time. 3 Incenses because I want to find my Garbodors. You want to get your Mucks down. You want to start milling. the Field Blower because that gets rid of those pesky tool cards, Float Stone, Fighting Fury, Muscle Band. That also adds damage because tool cards are item cards. So we have the 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, just max consistency, the 4 Scoop Up Nets, and then 2 Rescue Stretchers. Rescue Stretcher is super great in this deck because we want to get those Pokemon back into our deck to be able to pull them back out. Sometimes it's also nice just to be able to pull it right out of the discard pile and instantly maybe evolve into that Pokemon that got knocked out the turn before. Then, of course, 3 Versus Seekers because we want to utilize Misfortune Sisters as much as possible and maybe also get Guzma out of the discard pile, something of that nature. 1 Chaotic Smell, it's just the stadium of choice. You got 1 extra slaw in the deck, don't know a good stadium play, slap a Chaotic Swell in it. It's a good one of stadium in the deck for sure, just in case, maybe to counter Silent Labs or any stadiums that might be detrimental to you. We've got the Shuffle Draw Cynthia, 1 Guzma. Don't find that I need to Guzma all the time, but it is very nice. Then 1 N in the deck for disruption. N is great. They're only taking 1 prize card at a time. So not only are you milling your items, but you can potentially end them to disrupt their hand as well, which is incredible. Then we've also got the 2 Research just for that consistency. And of course, everyone's favorite, Teammates. This card is so powerful. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out the turn before, you get to search your deck for any 2 cards. It is so good for potentially setting up your board state into the next turn, or maybe finding the evolution Pokemon you need, plus the energy to continue to swing. So it's just so good. It's too good not to play. Then 2 Float Stones because all of our Pokemon, or our big Pokemon like Garbodor, have a 3 retreat cost, and so does Muck. Big, hefty retreat cost. So Float Stone is really nice in this deck, in addition to the Scoop Up Nets. 2 Muscle Bands. This is a way for us to modify our damage without having to be able to mill cards. So if we can't get enough item cards in the discard pile, maybe we can hunt down a Muscle Band, and that will help us amp up our damage without having to get the items in the discard pile. For our energy count, I'm playing the 4 Horror Psychics. Once again, another way to modify your damage. They swing into your single prize Pokemon, they also take that extra 20 damage. It helps sets up math, KOs, it is very convenient. And then of course, 3 basic Psychic Energies to round out the list. This list is super duper fun. Before we only had Muck to allow Trashalanche Garbodor to do more damage. Now with Misfortune Sisters, we can really enable Garbodor to swing harder and faster than ever before. This 1 energy attacker is so exciting. It's so fun. Let's hop into some games. All right, here we go. Hopping into our first game here with this Garbodor deck. This deck has been a lot of fun. I've been doing a little bit of testing in my free time. Our opponent is choosing whether they want to go first or not. Most decks in Expanded typically go second, so giving us the first turn is not too bad. We want to go first anyway, so we can get our evolutions down. But our opponent is choosing to go first. Our start is actually not too shabby. We've got the Alolan Grimer, which is a great start going second. I don't think I mentioned this in the intro, but Grimer has the Collect. It's a free attack that allows you to just draw 2 cards. So it's a really solid starter. All right, our opponent is playing Darkrai V-Star. So Turbo Dark has always been good and Expanded. You know, we've got the Zoro Ninja, you've got the Darkrai GX, which I assume he's going to pitch into the discard pile right now. So the Darkrai GX puts itself directly onto the bench with an energy if both are in the discard pile. So there is double Darkrai and an energy. Computer Search, my man has the nuts in his opening hand. Gets rid of another energy, so he's able to put a lot of energy to play this turn. So while Darkrai V-Star is not everything to write home about in Standard, it does have a lot of tools in Expanded. We also can't forget about Max Elixir in this deck, which is pretty cool. But looking back at our deck, we've got a solid opening hand. We do have a Misfortune Sisters, which we can play. Now this deck does play a lot of item cards, and as we can see, he's already played quite a few. We have 3 item cards already in the discard pile, and we're hoping to mill some more. And then I will probably be quick balling here and setting up my board. I will probably want to grab a Dedenne, I'm not gonna lie. So that way we can Misfortune Sisters and Dedenne in the same turn. Looks like our opponent has the same plan in mind. My man is absolutely digging. Adding a few more items into the discard pile. I don't think he sees what we are doing I don't think he's gonna see it coming. So let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start off with a quick ball. We'll get rid of a Psychic Energy. Let's see if we have the Dedenne even in deck. Dedenne is in deck, so that is really fantastic. I actually want to establish the Ditto. I kind of want to remain, like, I kind of don't want him to know what I am playing. So we'll grab the Ditto. I'll bench it. He does have Skyfield out. I'm going to Ultra Ball these two away. As much as I'd like to attach them, I do need to Dedenne this turn. We'll attach our Psychic Energy here. I'll play the Misfortune Sisters. And we hit 2 item cards. That's amazing. And then we can Dedenne. Let's get our Dede change on. Oh, wow. That hand is super bad. Oh, no. We didn't get any Alolan Grimers. We didn't get anything. We didn't get any Trubbishes to put down. Yeah, that's not super ideal. But we'll go for the collect regardless and get a couple extra cards in our hand. Well, we got the Muck. It's a turn too late, though. Now, putting items in the discard pile might not be the worst strategy ever for him, because he can just grab them with his V-Star power. But he's still playing all his item cards. Like I said, I think our strategy right now is going to work because I don't think people know what I am playing. So the element of surprise might benefit us here. He's playing more and more cards. We might actually just be able to deck him out at this point. Honestly. Another Dark Patch? Yes. Yes! Play your item cards. No sweat off my back. Oh my gosh, he is playing right into our hand. It's not funny. No. Card joke? No? Okay, fine. Got the back going too. Alright. I'm not even... How much damage are we doing right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Did he play another one? No. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the discard power right now. We are swinging for 280 damage. Wow. Wait, we can actually net ourselves a KO this turn. That is obscene. I don't think he's going to see it coming. Oh, he's using Starburst, so he actually gets 2 out of the discard pile. That sucks. Oh, but he's going to play them, it looks like. Which is great. Does he have the energy? No, he just grabs them out. That is slightly unfortunate. So let's do another quick count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're 1 item short. We would have to Misfortune Sisters here if I am going to, or, oh, okay, well, I think I might go in with Misfortune Sisters here to try and net ourselves a KO. I think that's the game plan. Yeah. I'm going to evolve up into the Garbodor. I'm going to Versus Seeker and grab out that Misfortune Sister. And we just got to pray we hit. We hit every time. I'm confident. Let's go. We hit 2 item cards. That feels incredible. So I don't necessarily want to get rid of the Guzma, but I think it's fine. I actually could just kind of get rid of the net because I'm hitting hard enough right now that it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to play the Training Court because I can get that Psychic right back into my hand and attach it for turn, which is, we're looking good now. And then we are going to go for a big Trashalanche. 300 damage. Oh, man. Our opponent, I do not think they saw it coming. Maybe they did at the end, and that's why they grabbed the Dark Patches out. But our opponent only actually has 9 cards in their deck. So, we are not looking too shabby right now. He plays his Dark Patches. Yeah, I'm one-hit KOing anything he puts in front of me at this point. I think we might have it wrapped up. I don't think he can take enough prizes before we take KOs. As long as we're able to chain our Garbodors and get 3 knockouts over the course of these next 3 turns, we should be chilling. He can take 2 prizes on this bad boy, on my Dedenne, but Ditto goes away. Ditto putting in mad work, being whatever we want it to be. All right. Let's get rid of... Oh, we get a Grimer off the top, which is not bad. All right, we can get this evolution here into the Garbodor. I'm just going to put out the Chaotic Swell. I don't think I need to Training Court. I mean, I could, but I don't necessarily think I need to. Let's attach the floater here because he does have the highest retreat cost. I think I'm just going to go for a Cynthia here. I think that's A-okay. I do need to get more Trebishes down, though. Uh-oh. Oh, no, we have the Ultra Ball. Okay, that's not too bad. We can get rid of the Scoop Up Net and the Muscle Band. We are doing enough damage that we do not need those. Trubbish comes down. We have double Evolution Incense for the following turn, plus Versus Seeker. Big Trashalanche again. With resistance, it's 340. That's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. That's wild. Yeah, I don't think Darkrai featuring Darkrai is gonna be able to handle the scandal. Yeah. I mean, he could actually go in with a single prize attacker. He could do that. But I still think we're in a solid position. We have a really established board state this turn. We are big... Yeah, played... Yeah, so there's that single prizer I talked about. So even if he goes in with this single prize Pokemon, I'm not too concerned. Oh, but he just goes in with Darkrai. So as long as we can get our energy this turn, we are good to go. All right, let's do this. Off the top every single time. Better lucky than good, right? Let's Evo Incense to grab our Muck. Let's see if we can mill a few extra cards here. Yes, I would. What has he got? Oh my gosh, he's... If he had one more item card in deck, we could have actually just passed. We milled all of those item cards. That was crazy. We know there's an item card, so I just need energy, right? I do just need energy. Now, hear me out. I'm going to rescue just in case, all right? Better safe than sorry. I'll get one more poke out of the deck. We're going to Versus Seeker and go in for a Cynthia here. So because I don't necessarily want to draw into the Incense, I'm just going to burn it. We just need energy here. Come on. Show me the money. There we go. What an absolutely wild game one. We'll hit our friend here with the well played and swing for another big Trashalanche. They never saw it coming. Here we go, a second game. We are calling the coin flip. We're gonna go with heads. Just kidding, I meant to misclick. I meant to click tails. But our opponent is letting us go first, which is fantastic. We do have a pretty, I would say a pretty solid opening hand. Grimer in the active. We can bench the Ditto, just in case we're playing against Donk. And I guess, well, I don't know. This could be, it's most likely Volcarona. Volcarona does play a decent amount of items, so guess we'll have to find out. He does have the Mew in the active, which doesn't really tell me too much. We could attach our energy, but I think I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't think we need to attach our energy. We at least have two Pokemon down. Let's see if he nets a KO. It is Volcarona. Volcarona is a pretty popular deck. It's super aggressive. He will be playing a decent amount of item cards, and that will hopefully play into our strategy a lot. He does play a lot of cards to find his energy, get them into the discard pile. Yeah, see? So he's already got those going. Alright, Greninja coming down, energy online. And my friend here is still digging, playing lots of item cards. He's setting up the Blitzel to get that Zebstrika to discard his hand and draw 4. And research. Wow, what a perfect hand. Woo, calm down there, bro. Calm down. Quit popping off, man. Making me look bad, right? Fiery Flint playing more item cards for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 item cards. We're already swinging for 100 damage. This Mew is weak to Psychic, so we're just overkilling it. I think I might just Cynthia here this next turn. Lots of energy into the bin. Even more concealed cards. So Volcarona doing all of its damage based off how much energy is in the discard pile, and then of course Mew copying that attack. So he does net a KO. We will need to get some more Pokemon down if we want to survive the next turn. Let's see what we got here. What do we top deck? Computer search. All right, not too shabby. I don't know how much Muscle Band is going to matter. I kind of like having all my mucks here. I think I'm just going to get rid of Jirachi. Jirachi also might be good late game. Let's go with Muscle Band and Versus Seeker. Decisions, am I right? And we'll set up another... Well, we could set up a Pokemon, or we could... This is tough. Trying to figure out the best line of play here. We have so many options. I could just guarantee the Garbodor and guarantee a KO. I think that's fine. Let's go with that. We'll evolve, attach our energy here, and Cynthia, shuffle draw. We do need to get more Trubishes down, and a Grimer. All right, that actually turned out fantastic. We have a backup in hand, plus we know Dedenne is in the deck. Yeah, looks good. And we're going to Trashalanche for the KO. For way too much damage. The weakness there, not super relevant, but we do have an evolution next turn. We have a way to get Dedenne to get out of this super dead hand. And our opponent is playing more item cards. Do it. I want you to. So, let's see. He's playing oh man, he's playing more Ultra Balls. Yeah. Fine by me. I think we can trade relatively favorably against this deck. I know it does play a few single prize Pokemon like the Mew, but from here on out, we might just be facing a 2-prize Pokemon because he did throw away his Ordinary Rod in his opening hand. So, he does rod the Mew back in, it looks like. So, and the Volcanion EX. Volcanion doesn't really matter here because our Pokemon are such low HP that it's not super relevant. He's grabbing the Mew. He's already attached his energy though for turn, so he is committing to swinging with the Volcarona. Yeah, we should be able to take a KO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we're KOing it. My gosh, he has a lot of draw on board between the Stadium, the Greninja, the 2 Zebstrikers. My man needs to chill, dude. That Stadium is not great. I would like to find my Chaotic Swell so we can bump that, so we can bench more stuff. That's actually a great top deck. We're probably only going to hit energy though, but let's see what we can find. Yeah, only energy. He has a lot of energy in his deck right now. So we will evolve. We have our energy in hand for the evolution, and then we can Ultra Ball, and we're going to just go with a Dedenne. Get a fresh hand. I do need to set up another Trubbish, though, this turn if I'm going to swing the following turn, and we do. All right, looking solid. I do have a Guzma in hand as well, but we're also netting ourselves 2 prizes here. I could have benched a Floater, but this deck typically doesn't play a lot of Disruption. Ultra Ball is amazing, and Energy. Wow, those are the 2 things we needed next turn. We have the Evolution and the Energy for our next Trashalanche. He is throwing down Research. My man is trying to get more energy into the discard pile. That is the whole strategy of this deck. Throw away the energy, do lots of damage, put the energy back in, rinse and repeat. So, ever since Volcarona came out, it has made no strides in Standard, but in Expanded, it's a fairly consistent deck, and you see it quite often in Expanded. It's a really strong deck, but I don't know if it can hold up to our piles of garbage. So I could Guzma here and take 2 prizes. I'm gonna promote this because I have the Floatstone in my hand, and I can always make my decision based off my top deck as well. We will go here. Now, the downside of this next turn is I actually won't have another Trubbish down, which is, well, actually, you know what? I evolution Incense. I'm a liar. Don't listen to me. That's just good advice. Don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just clicking the shiny buttons. We'll evolve into Garbodor here, and then I can Ultra Ball. I could Ultra Ball for Lele. I'm not Lele. Jirachi. But then my bench is locked, and I won't be able to bench anything else unless I find my Chaotic Swell. And I don't relish that thought at all. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of Muck and a Floater, and we'll just set up another Trub. I think that's fine. We'll bench that. Now, I could Guzma here and take 2 prizes. I don't think that's a terrible idea. I think I'd just maybe take out the Volcarona, and then whatever he swings into me with next turn just goes down. Yeah, I will take advantage of this while I can. We'll Guzma out this Volk. I can attach my Floatstone. Let's attach it here just in case. And then we'll go for another big Trashalanche. How much damage are we doing? I'm not even counting. Woo! 320! Yes, sir! We do find a Quick Ball with the prizes, which is so nice. That will allow us to get our Jirachi EX out of the deck and use it to draw some cards with the ability. The ability to find us a supporter, that is. I think we're set for success right now. I don't think there's anything he can promote, and he gets rid of his stadium so we can bench even more. So, not too shabby. This deck can hit for insane numbers if your opponent is not prepared for what it can do. The interesting thing about this deck, though, in particular, like this one we're playing against, is the entire strategy revolves around playing item cards. So if he can't play his item cards to get his energy in the discard pile, he does no damage. So in this case, there's no real way for him to kind of avoid taking these big KOs. Or allowing us to take the big KO, should I say. And there's the victory screen. So this was the list I was rocking out with today. Now, one small change I did make somewhere along the line when I was playtesting was adding this Pokemon Ranger. I ran into a few ADPs on the ladder, and with their GX attack allowing them to take multiple prizes on my single prize Pokemon, I just had to add a Ranger into the list to kind of remove that effect. And additionally, the card is searchable with Jirachi, so that's another fantastic thing to really help you get rid of their GX attack, making them go through all of your single prize Pokemon for sure. Everyone in the list put in mad work. Even the Grimer with the collect attack was pretty nasty. Now, one card I, of course, didn't find to be insane in today's games was the Misfortune Sisters, but don't get it twisted, the card is not bad. It is still a must-include in the list, because a lot of people aren't anticipating the Trashalanche and they think it's the Garbotoxin. They're not being mindful that you're actually using Trashalanche, and so they just played all of their item cards themselves, and they amped their damage, my damage up without me having to mill them. But in many cases, when people had maybe slow starts, or after I got the first knockout with Trashalanche, they stopped playing items, so I had less damage. The combination of Misfortune Sisters and the Muck came in absolute clutch, being able to mill those cards when my opponent wasn't playing those item cards themselves. So this was the list. I encourage you guys to play it. It is so much fun. If you liked the video, drop a like down below and leave a comment. Now that we've had time to explore all of the fun new cards from Lost Origin, what is your favorite maybe archetype or new card or something to come out of Lost Origin? Let me know. And subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.